All right, Charles. Charles, where'd you grow up? Where are you from originally?
Columbus, Ohio, Philadelphia.
Where?
Columbus, Ohio, moved to Philadelphia.
Oh, Columbus and Philly. Tell me about your childhood. How was?
Well, my childhood, I was in group homes. My uncle was abusive. My father was passed away. My mother died when I was 13.
So who raised you mostly?
Who raised me? I was in Silver Springs, up in Conshohocken, outside of
So
Philadelphia.
you had your mom at least, or mom and dad until
until she
13?
passed away.
Yeah. And then you went to the foster system?
Yes.
And how was the foster system for you?
It was kind of a combination of many things. It was kind of rough at first, and some days you had your highs and lows. They kept you on medication a lot. Melorel, things like that.
For what kind of?
For emotionally disturbed, all kinds of stuff. And I wasn't bipolar, but it's paranoid schizophrenic.
So mental issues have been going on
Yeah,
for a long
basically. Not that I'm crazy, it's just that
Yeah,
you go through a lot of changes.
right. And where did your life go after the foster system?
What did I like about the foster system?
No, where did your life go after the foster system?
After the foster system, I went to live with this lady, Mrs. Blackwell. She came and took me like as a house parent, and I stayed for 4 years. Then I went to Reading, Pennsylvania. From Reading, Pennsylvania. I became homeless, got off the street, became homeless again. It was a reoccurring thing about 4 times. And got off the street, now homeless again at this cartel.
And drugs have been a part of your life?
Pardon me?
How long have drugs been a part of your life?
I don't really do drugs hardcore. I do marijuana.
Oh, is that right?
But I'm really obsessed with it. It's like an obsession.
Pot is.
But I don't see it as no worse than any other drug, if you're obsessed with it. I'm very compulsive about it.
How much pot do you smoke a day?
I would smoke maybe 2 to 3 packages a day. I would smoke 1 joint every 15 minutes.
Is that right? Throughout the day?
Yes, sir. I couldn't sell any drugs. I couldn't sell marijuana because I couldn't keep it long enough.
Because you were smoking it?
Yes, constantly.
Wow. And that's still going on?
I'm a cigarette abuser, a marijuana abuser.
You still smoking today?
Yes.
Yeah. You discovered pot at what age?
I was 13.
13.
I stopped for like 3 years and then started again.
In 3 years you stopped. How did your life change?
How did life change?
When you stopped, when you were not smoking?
When I wasn't smoking, things were a little better, but they weren't perfect.
You think you're addicted to it?
Yes, I would say I was addicted to it.
I mean, I don't know that pot's addictive.
It is. It can be
it?
addictive. Yes, it can.
Really?
Pot can be addictive because I've been smoking for quite a while. I've been smoking for 18 years. Like I said, off and on.
Yeah. And where are you staying now?
Where am I staying at? Over on the other side of the bridge on cardboard.
You just sleep on the street?
Yeah, I come on the bus. I come down to get food. And my current address is a cardboard up on the other side of the highway.
So you're living on a piece of cardboard, basically?
You could say, yeah. And I get clothes at the shelters and stuff.
Wow. What keeps you from working?
What keeps me from working?
From getting a job?
My doctor, I could work. I have an injured neck, right? But I could work, but I can't really hold a steady job as of yet. The doctor told me that I would have to get their permission before I could do that.
How old are you now?
How old am I? 55.
55.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have kids?
No, I have no children.
No kids. You ever been in love?
Pardon me?
Have you ever been in love?
Have I ever been in love? 3 times, struck out twice. The other one was kind of my fault. Actually, it's both our faults. I take that back.
Yeah.
I haven't seen her since.
Yeah. And looking back at your life, what do you think might have?
I wish things would have been different.
What do you think? What do you wish was different?
I wish my attitude of things would have been different. I wish I would have learned more than I do now. I wish if I had it to do all over again, I wouldn't have done it that way.
Well, done what way?
The things that I did. The abuse of pot,
Oh, I see.
the abuse of cigarettes. So if you want to tell young people it's not a game,
That's interesting because today the attitude with pot is that it's medicinal and it's
Yeah, it's not exactly dangerous.
relaxing
It's not exactly dangerous, but it could become habit forming.
how do you think pot affects your behavior?
What it does is it makes you hungry. That it does. I'm not so sure. It depends on the person. It probably makes them horny. Some people it don't. Some people it relaxes them. Some people,
Yeah, and
Turn
I
to
think there's different kinds of pot, right?
yes.
Yeah. Depends
People
on
react
the-
differently to it. Some,
It depends on what kind you're smoking.
yes. But the key is not to get hooked like I did, because you'll wish you didn't.
And stopping is not.
I could stop. It's difficult.
Yeah.
It's very difficult, just like in any other drug.
But you don't see people having the same problems with with pot as they do like with crack or with heroin, things like that.
Well, see, like I said, from my perspective, from being down here, being around people, it depends on what their problems are.
Yeah.
It depends on how affected they were.
Do you think it exacerbates your mental issues?
Pardon me.
Do you think it heightens your mental problems?
It can.
That you mentioned earlier, you have some like
It
mental.
can. It can affect it. It can affect it to a certain extent. In most cases, not at all.
Yeah.
Like I said, it varies.
Do you have friends?
Do I have friends? I have 3 friends. One is not in town right now.
And where do you see your life going now?
Well, it could go either way. It could either go down here or go up. So it's basically neutral. I'm hoping for the best.
Mm-hmm.
I would prefer it to go uphill.
Yeah. Have you seen doctors for your mental issues?
Yes.
And what are they?
I see 2 of them.
Oh, you still do?
Yeah, I still see them, but I have to go way out to the valley in order to see one.
Yeah. Are you taking meds for?
Yeah, I'm taking Haldol right now. No, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm taking Abilify.
For schizophrenia?
Yeah.
And what does your schizophrenia manifest in your life as? What does it make you do? Or how do
Okay,
you-
I'm gonna be honest with you. It's paranoid schizophrenia, right? But there are times where I'm telling the truth about stuff and people won't believe it. So they just chalk it off to be that it's because of this paranoid schizophrenia. But it's not always the case.
So schizophrenia seems to look very different in different people.
Yes,
Yeah.
some more heightened than others, depending on, and plus when you're exposed to different things too,
Yeah.
can create different problems other than just that.
And when did the schizophrenia kind of take hold in your life? In your 20s?
When did it take hold? Shoot, it took hold when I was, I didn't start register till I was like 22.
Yeah. That's usually the age where it kind of
Yeah.
shows up.
But at first I was in denial of it, The doctor told me that I had schizophrenia. I told him, man, you don't know what you're talking about. But I didn't realize I actually did have it until I started showing signs of it. Then I started feeling guilty, depressed, whole 9 yards.
And is the pot kind of a way of treating it for you?
I think it's both. I think it's recreational and a treatment for me. I can't speak for others.
Yeah. And your pot use has increased or decreased or stayed steady?
Has it decreased?
Has it-
Smoking pot?
Has it changed over the years? Have you?
It has. It's changed. But there was a time to where I was just smoking it every 5 minutes. And there was a part of me saying, slow down. But the other part of me wouldn't listen to it.
So you're literally smoking a joint every 15 minutes?
Yes.
And
And that's no lie.
that's a lot of smoking.
Yeah. And I said to myself, I might be out of control. I've had people tell me, man, you smoke too much pot, man. And there's some people say, man, go ahead. It's okay. Just go ahead and smoke as much pot as you want.
I mean, would you say you were high or you were just?
Oh, I'd be high.
When's the last time you smoked? Today?
When was the last time
Yeah.
I smoked? Today? Actually, I haven't had any in 4 days.
Oh, you haven't smoked in 4
No.
days.
But I've said there was a current time I was, from the 4-day period, I was smoking heavy.
Yeah.
When I actually was smoking, I mean, you couldn't tell me to put it down,
Yeah. So right now you're not high.
No,
Yeah.
no, I'm not.
But you'll probably smoke later today, or
You want honesty? That's a big question mark. I might not.
And what'll decide whether you do or don't?
What will decide it?
Yeah, I mean, something stressful or just nothing to do, or whether you
I
have
think
money.
most likely nothing to do.
So if there's nothing to do, you'll get high and
Yeah.
just zone out.
Well, I'll just get high and just say, oh, the hell with it. Just let everybody do what they do. You know what I mean? Retreat, mind my business. You know, don't come get me to help you do nothing. I just want to be left alone.
Is it a way of checking out?
Well, I wouldn't say copping out, but maybe.
No, checking out. I mean, just kind of, just like not being involved in other people's lives or your own life even.
Yes. And that scares me sometimes.
Yeah. What are the benefits?
The benefits, I don't get in a lot of trouble.
The what?
I don't get in a lot of trouble with the benefits. But the lack of it for me is that I'd be regretting not being involved in something I should have been involved in, and then I wind up missing out.
Yeah. I mean, does it affect your drive or your focus?
Yes, it can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that'll keep your life from going anywhere, right?
Yeah. It becomes like it becomes sort of like you thought it was great, and all of a sudden it's a letdown.
Yeah. You've had jobs in your life?
I've had 3.
What kind of job?
Highest paying job was a security company called General Security.
Mm-hmm.
I was making $10 an hour. And I won't even get into how I lost that job. It's too embarrassing. I really don't want to, you know. I don't really want the public to know how I went about that. It's not,
What does it have to do with?
pardon me?
What does it have to do with?
Let's just say I was supposed to fill in for somebody. Or actually, what happened was I was stationed somewhere, and I was promised to be put back in my other station. But what happened was they reneged on me on it, and I made a fuss about it, and they said, well, you go back there or you're fired. But I had quit before they could fire me. So I was caught between a rock and a hard place,
Oh, I see.
basically. But I won't get into the details of how that happened. Me cussing out my superior, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Had this big argument in the office.
No, getting fired is no fun.
Big shouting match. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. But anyway, that's what happened.
And living on the street, do you see yourself getting?
I don't see myself dying, but I don't see myself. I'm not going to sit there and say that being on the street is like the greatest thing in the world. No. Some people believe it's the greatest thing in the world. Depends on the person's point of view. But me, I don't think being on the street or in jail are the greatest things in the world.
Right. You've been in jail too?
Yeah, and I don't. And the first day I went, I wanted to get out the very first day I got there.
What got you in jail?
Huh?
What put you in jail?
Receiving stolen property 9 times, things like that.
Oh, so you've been in jail a few times.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah.
Misdemeanors.
And how does living on the street, or how does this lifestyle that you're living
When you're on the street,
affect you emotionally?
Okay, when you're on the street, you feel like you got nowhere to go. You do have places to go, but you're so depressed you think you don't have nowhere to go.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then you have to confront the problem of where do you go and how do you get there? And plus you have to deal with all the other baggage too. It can be frightening.
And if you just smoke, then you don't have to even look at it.
But you still have to come back to the same basic problem.
No, eventually, yeah. But
Yeah.
not if you're smoking every 15 minutes.
But see, that's the depression.
That's
I
the
still
depression, right?
smoke to get rid of the pain.
Yeah,
of
there's
it.
always mental illness behind all these
Yes.
behaviors, I think.
But here's the weird thing. When I smoke to get rid of it, it comes right back again after the high comes down. And it's like you can't, it's like a vicious cycle.
How long does the high last?
How long does the high last? It can last anywhere up to maybe 5 to 6 hours, something like, depending on the type quality you smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what kind of drug you smoke, basically, I'm only speaking for myself now, it's not going to make the actual reality of her situation go away.
And you've been smoking pot for decades. Has the quality improved, or?
Some of it is improved, but lately people have been selling some of the bogus stuff and keeping the good stuff for themselves, and that's what's making me mad and frustrated, and I might want to quit altogether.
Because you're not getting the quality that you'd like?
Yes.
And since they legalized it recently...
It wouldn't make a difference. They're still not giving you the quality you like, and it's starting to make me feel like, well, what the hell am I smoking it for if I can't get the quality I'm looking for? You know?
Have you tried any of the harder drugs?
No.
Never.
I tried blow once, but blow didn't do anything for me. It didn't do anything, so wasn't interested in it. If it's something I'm not interested in, I'm not going to do it. I don't care who's got it. You know? If you have something I'm not interested in, I'm not going to do it. I don't care if you or whoever else has it.
Yeah.
That's just how I operate.
What would you say the most important lesson you've learned in your life is?
Is that I made a big mistake when I started smoking pot obsessively. I want to get back to praying, something I made the biggest mistake of my life in not doing. That's one of the biggest mistakes I ever made.
All right, Charles. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. I wish you the best of luck. Hope you get off the street.
I do too.
All right. Thank you.